remake, but not really. It's a remake of a 1960s horror movie, 13 Ghosts. It actually has very little to do with the original, but at least there are still 13 ghosts. 16 with inflation. Ooh, spooky auto graveyard. Okay, yeah, graveyard's a graveyard. Pence's motorcade is at it again. Read the news. It might look like they're about to unleash a pop-up 21 Pilots concert, but they're here to catch a ghost. Cyrus is a ghost hunter and leader of this dramatic expedition, played by F. Murray Abraham? Wow. This walking migraine is Dennis, played by Matthew Drool equals emotion Lillard. He's a psychic, and this place is giving him the creeps. And Scooby's nowhere to be found. Zoinks! They're already here and set up, but somehow they still need Dennis to know where the ghost is? Here to spoil the fun are what I can only describe as ghost liberators. Embeth Davidtz is Kalina, and she speaks for the dead. PETA for ghosts. Ectoplasm is murder! Okay, these guys capture ghosts in special glass boxes, which is super effective compared to their previous method. Remember when I mentioned dramatic? They're a little over dramatic. Well, now they're spraying blood all over the place to attract the ghosts.
You gotta be shitting me!
Are they attracting a ghost or a shark? They're here for the Juggernaut, the ghost of a big brute serial killer who lives up to his name. You might be wondering what's with all the funky eyewear. It's a callback to the original 13 Ghosts where they had this gimmick where you would wear special glasses to make the ghosts appear on screen. Here, they're just kind of an annoying gimmick that doesn't include the audience. Please don't break the window. The AC is on, he's got water, and he's listening to his favorite music. They catch their ghost, but at what cost? Ooh, that's a tetanus shot. So, we getting paid? We meet our main characters during a single seamless shot where they tell an entire story how the wife dies in a fire and the family is left penniless. It's clever and tells you what you need to know without dipping into a bunch of exposition. Something this movie is saving for later. This is Cyrus's nephew, Arthur, played by Tony Shalhoub, and his two kids, Bobby and Kathy, played by Alec Roberts and Shannon Elizabeth. Financial problems, but they can still afford a full-time live-in nanny? Maggie is played by respected MC Digga. I wonder how many people think he's fucking the nanny. Look out, Uncle Scrooge wants you to work. This is Ben Moss, creepy lawyer who tells him that his Uncle Cyrus is dead, and his will is on CD-ROM, which was in fashion at the time. Uncle Cyrus, being the dead guy he is, left his only heirs his fancy house, which is gonna come in handy since they live in a shithole right now. I should do all my reviews like this. Cigarette in hand, all dramatic and shit. Drop in on Kalina, she's busy packing some seriously weird stuff. Explosives, the Necronomicon for dummies, and since it's a long trip, magic spells on tape. This was before Audible. No, not yet. They'll come calling someday. Inheritance tax be damned, they go check out their new house, which appears to be mostly glass. Not a design I'd go with. Glass Houses is one of my favorite Billy Joel albums. Dennis is here posing as a power employee. Cyrus doesn't pay his bills, like someone we all know. When Cyrus died, he failed to pay Dennis, so he thinks he'll just be able to go in there and get his money. I'm sure he's got one of those Scrooge McDuck vaults just laying around. Oh boy, I can't wait to get in there and start throwing stones.
Weird.
Guess Uncle Cyrus wasn't too keen on privacy.
Oh, your uncle liked to let it all hang loose. The adult in me, all I can think of is this place must be a bitch to keep warm.
Just so we all clear, Miss Maggie does not do windows, okay?
Oh, Maggie, you're fired.
I would love to take you and your family on a tour of the house.
Great.
Tour? You can see everything from here.
Great. I don't want you guys to move from this spot. We'll be right back.
You know what that really means. Otherwise, there's no movie. While checking out the basement, Dennis makes a shocking discovery. Cyrus left his 12 ghosts locked up down here. So who's been feeding him this whole time? Are these ghosts or Dick Tracy villains?
Arthur, we have to talk. I used to hunt ghosts with your Uncle Cyrus.
Maggie finds a pair of those ghost goggles. Safety is #1 priority.
Not so fast. You gotta cater to my ego first.
Yes, you look fly. Now can I have them? Kathy finds her bathroom. Look, I know it's frosted glass, but everyone will still know when you're pooping. The lawyer decides to leave, but not without his payment. So, to the basement, to meet more of the undead residents.
Hey, nice tits.
You know they're fake. While you're at it, why don't you just catcall or mansplain something? And he unwittingly sets off the mechanism that seals the house with everyone inside, fires up the big machine, and starts preparing Pee-wee's breakfast. The ghosts are being released one by one, starting with the angry princess. Is this about my insensitive remarks? #me too? He backs into the world's sharpest doors.
I mean, that doesn't really even seem possible if you think about it. With body organs and cartilage and bones, and I mean, I'm no doctor.
It's time to go, but Arthur can't find his kids. Am I the only one amused by how they can lose someone in a glass house? Even when women are alone in the bathroom, they're never really alone. Realizing they're trapped, Arthur goes Axl Rose on the place. Man, that's some tough graffiti.
Did the lawyer split?
Why, yes he did. That's the kind of thing I would say. Bobby shits himself. Let's hope Cyrus left them enough money for therapy.
So what are these?
They're containment spells. See, ghosts can't cross those.
I ain't got nobody. Oh wait, there it is. Bobby eventually finds that one of the ghosts is his own mother. I didn't know he was part fruit roll-up. Mom, I get you're trying to help your kid, but could you be a little less freaky? Big money, big money, big money. I'd like to buy a vowel. Dennis finally proves to someone that he's telling the truth, but he also gets a psychic vision of the script 25 pages ahead. How much of this movie is spent looking for this kid?
And if the jackal's out, screw the kid.
Kathy meets the Jackal, a really twisted ghost. But before she can make a wish, it's Ghost Peter to the rescue. Finally, someone who knows what's going on.
Who the hell are you?
We're in the middle of a machine designed by the devil and powered by the dead.
But built by Teamsters in America.
I came here to set the souls in this house free.
She wants to let this loose? Screw that! Leave it where it is and sell tickets on Halloween.
Kathy, can you walk? Kathy!
Man, this guy loses more kids than Daddy 05. Whoo! Shots fired. Cultural appropriation, dude. Not cool. But you can't expect the dead to be woke. The house is set up like a maze and it keeps changing. This must really piss off their Roomba. They could have John McClaned their way out of this the whole time? Okay, they're finally out of the basement. But not that you could tell by the scenery. Sometimes you can tell everything you need to know about a man by the scratches on his back.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
You didn't tell him, did you?
You're saying my wife's spirit is trapped in this house.
So when they got his wife, did they bring in another big glass box and spray blood all over the hospital? So Cyrus has been gathering ghosts like a spiritual Danny Ocean. Boy, Terry Benedict is in for it. That's 12, but the poster says 13. You owe me a ghost.
Each one adds its energy to the machine, powering it up.
For what?
To open the Ocularis Infernum.
The Eye of Hell?
And the man who controls the Ocularis would be the most powerful man on Earth.
To stop the Eye of Hell from opening, Arthur must willingly sacrifice himself, and that will shut the machine down. At least until OSHA concludes their investigation.
Love is the most powerful energy, Arthur.
Meaning?
I don't see love on my utility bill.
All I can think about are my kids.
Let's find some kids. Arthur and Dennis take a wall as a shield, since ghosts can't cross the writing. This is stupidly effective. For spirits, they're awfully confined by physics. Kalina and Maggie go with Plan B, blow up the machine with good old-fashioned explosives. A ghost! Thought she'd never shut up. Turns out Kalina is in cahoots with Cyrus, who isn't dead after all. Dennis saves Arthur by taking a couple for the team. They're not his biggest fans. I was wondering what would break first. Now Arthur's trapped by himself. Back to those spells on tape. When he had those recorded, did nothing weird happen? The spells drag the ghost to the machine. Arthur is distraught, having shit himself in such an enclosed space. Oh, it reeks in here. The missus shows up for encouragement. Hey honey, you look nice. New hair? Of course, a user to the end, Cyrus disposes of Kalina. On to more pressing matters. Arthur needs to act fast before Krypton finds the kids guilty. Arthur is expected to jump into this and be shredded for love. Gee, thanks for leaving us such a shit show, Uncle Jerkwad. Arthur starts putting things together. Cyrus didn't count on Arthur's ability to count.
Well, if I'm the 13th.
You can almost hear him go, I did not think this through. But instead of stopping the machine, a 13th ghost would activate it.
You will make that leap. Now get on your feet.
But Fat Beats to the rescue. Designed by the devil, insured by Allstate.
And let me tell you something. You know what really grinds my gears?
This releases the ghosts, freeing them to take out their hostilities on those who deserve it. Light as a finger, dead as a doornail. This is most definitely not an act of love. Unless you're OJ. Too soon? Arthur still has to leap to protect his kids. But they seem to be safe in there, why bother? I got this. Super Mario prepared me for this. While the house self-destructs, Arthur and the kids are strangely protected by the spinning blades of death. Yay, the ghosts are free! I mean, oh shit, the ghosts are free! One last visit from the missus.
Mom? Touch the nanny and I'm haunting your asses. Goodbye!
So, being in the middle of that thing was the safest place. Everything else was destroyed. Wait, how did she survive?
I quit!
That was 13 ghosts. I was invested in this family. They were sympathetic, likable. I can also get why Arthur was so eager to seemingly do anything to protect the kids because of guilt and mourning for his wife. Tony Shalhoub really felt like a father desperate to protect his family. Matthew Lillard is a man on caps lock. Even when being a total ham, he turns it to 11, man. Cyrus was deliciously evil, ruthless, something Mr. Abraham excels at. It was a shame his character was missing for so much of the movie. Most of the ghosts are certainly evil. They're less like former human beings and just psychotic, homicidal animals. But oddly, they still have rules. Kalina's betrayal was unexpected, yet not surprising and not really impactful. You start off thinking Kalina is a strong character, but when her relationship to Cyrus is revealed, she becomes submissive. The makeup effects were gory, but they reminded me more of zombies than ghosts. They were a bit too caricaturish to be truly scary, like exaggerated representations of themselves when they were alive. The princess was one of the more creepy ghosts because she did so little. This split down her nipple, that's just ugh. There's a special program on the DVD with all the ghosts' backstories. Not really needed to watch, but add some background to them. Why are you wet? For an R-rated horror movie, it's rather tame, much like a PG-13 horror movie with more cussing. The Glass House seemed more suited to a science fiction movie. The story sets up a nice backstory for the family, but it really fizzles once they get to the house. The glasses gimmick gets in the way. It's an interesting idea that they can't always see the ghosts, they have to share the glasses sometimes, and there's a certain tunnel vision that comes with it. But it's gimmicky. Are you over this? Okay. Down you go. Cyrus's whole plan depended on Arthur not losing them or just wearing them. So much of this movie is people either wandering around or running from something. And this movie is loud, it's in your face and over the top. There's some sloppy editing and the plot is paper thin. So much of the movie is spent wandering around that all of it started to bleed together. Looking for the kids, looking for the stairs. The all-glass shape-shifting house was a novel idea on paper, but on screen there's almost nothing that stands out. No sense of space or place. They literally could have been filming in the same 3 hallways and you'd never know. The setting became boring, like playing the same video game levels over and over. But I have to say the big machine was pretty cool looking. There are some tense moments, such as when Kathy's in the bathroom with the angry princess, but moments like these are rare. 13 Ghosts is 3 Bs. It's a fun movie, it's not genuinely scary, the ghosts are somewhat silly, the exposition is painful at times, and the ending was kinda hokey. But I liked that it could be tongue-in-cheek. They toss off a few one-liners that made me chuckle. The kind of jokes I would make. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, the bell, you know, the usual YouTube stuff. This is theNewBee, and I'll see you later, kids. Toodles! And special thanks to my patrons. You guys rock!